What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today in this video we're going to be doing my first mock draft that I'm going to be posting. I've done a bunch before but just haven't posted them. Yeah, this one's going to be a mock draft with trades now that the draft order is more set with the wildcard round being over. It's going to be a lot more realistic, so I'm going to do trades this time. And make sure, if you guys are interested in player props or best ball fantasy, make sure you guys sign up for Underdog Fantasy. It's available on the Apple and Google Play Store. Any app store it's available. You can use code LVRN to get 100% deposit match on your first deposit, up to $100. So that's pretty awesome. You can deposit $100 and get $200 in your account to play with. And yeah, so definitely sign up for Underdog using my code. And so let's get on with the video. As you guys can probably tell, I fixed my mic situation. I got a new mic, so the audio should be much better than it was the past two videos. I know that was not ideal, but we fixed it, so it's definitely better now. So now the Bears, they're on the clock, and I don't see any way that they stay here. Really, I don't think so, unless, like the Bears owner said, that if they fall in love with, like, if they're blown away by Bryce Young, they'll take a quarterback. I don't see it happening. I don't see a reason for them to do that. They can get a lot of value trading down. So I think the trade will happen before the draft, but so I'm going to say, honestly, the most likely scenario in my mind is that the Texans just trade back up to 1. I feel like that's probably the most likely scenario, but then again, that's a little too basic. So I'm gonna go with something a little weird. I don't know who. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think that I'm gonna have the Raiders trade up. Now, I don't think that this is actually going to happen. This might happen, but it depends on what the price is. I don't see, like, Josh McDaniels and Ziegler, they don't really overspend to, like, draft. They like draft picks. As you can see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 draft picks in this year's draft before even trading Derek Carr. So I think once we trade Derek Carr, we'll have more value, more picks to possibly move up. I think Bryce Young is almost by far and away the best quarterback in this draft. He's definitely my undisputed QB1, and I don't think that'll change. So I'm going to say the Raiders will probably, like, if they trade up, big if, but I think that it's an interesting and fun scenario to do for my first mock draft. So I think the Raiders would give up a first, a second this year, and probably, like, if they get a first for Derek Carr this year, they would probably also give up that first, so both first, a second, maybe, or maybe they would keep the second and probably do a third and a future first, probably, if I had to guess. So 3 first-round picks, including the one that they get from Derek Carr. So I'm just going to force this through because it doesn't really matter right now. So, yeah, I think that the Raiders trade up to 1. In this scenario, the Raiders trade up to 1, get their quarterback of the future. Brady retires. Let's say Brady retires after the season. You know, they don't have a quarterback on their roster. Jared Stidham's a free agent. Carr got traded. Brady retired. They don't know what to do. I don't know that a quarterback would be there at 7. I really don't think that it would. So it's an interesting scenario, but we're going to stick with it. The Texans here, I think that they would be smart to go C.J. Stroud. They need a quarterback for the future. C.J. Stroud is that guy. He's going to be their quarterback for the future, and I think he's a great prospect. I was a little worried about his throwing under pressure and, like, improvising, but he proved me wrong during the Georgia game. He used his legs, threw under pressure. He made all the throws. I think he's going to be a great starting quarterback for many years. The Cardinals, now they're in a great position here. They have all both the top two defenders on the board. So do they want Jalen Carter or do they want Will Anderson? I think with J.J. Watt leaving and they have no edge pressure, I feel like you have to go. But Jalen Carter is such a generational talent, I think. I think you have to go Jalen Carter, actually. I changed my mind. He is a generational talent. I mean, to be able to find someone that can get pressure from the interior is rare, and he is one of those rare players that can consistently get pressure from the inside, the interior of the defensive line, and that's important. That's very important. So I'm going to go Jalen Carter at 3, and now that leaves the Colts at 4, and I'm going to go with the rumors that I've heard about them loving Will Levis. They love Will Levis. They want him to be their quarterback of the future. I've heard that Jim Irsay likes him, and I'm going to think that they're going to go with him here. So that's 3 quarterbacks within the top 5. I don't know if that'll happen. We'll see as it gets closer to draft day, and the combine and Senior Bowl. All those things will play a big role. So now the Seahawks at 5. They have Will Anderson fall into their lap. There's nothing else you can ask for here. That's like the perfect scenario for the Hawks. They have Will Anderson fall into their lap. So yeah, that's pretty good for them. The Lions are on the clock here at 6. This is an interesting scenario. I don't really like PFF's big board. But let's see. I think that they're going to go corner. I mean, they need another corner to go across from Jeff Okudah. And my favorite corner in the class is Christian Gonzalez, but I don't know if they go corner here. Very interesting here. I don't really know. They could go Myles Murphy. Definitely could be a good pick, a good fit. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go Christian Gonzalez. I think that's a good pick. You're going to get a great athlete and a super high upside corner who he has tons of length, tons of speed. He's my favorite corner in the class. I think his ceiling is unreal. Yeah, very good player. So the Bears are on the clock now at the 107 after trading down. And, I mean, here I think that Myles Murphy is probably the pick. Unless I also really do like Tyree Wilson. He's a very raw pass rusher. He struggles getting off the line sometimes, but his run defending is top tier, and he also has insane athleticism and length. But I just can't go him over Myles Murphy at this point. So now the Falcons, they're on the clock. I guess they could be in the market for QB. I'm not going to take one because I just don't see them doing that. But what they could do is get some much-needed edge help with Tyree Wilson, and I think that's a great pick, as I just talked about. Now, the Panthers, they're on the clock at 9. I think this is a weird spot for them. What do they need? I mean, they could use another corner, definitely. Outside of J.C. Horn, it's not very good. I mean, they have C.J. Henderson, but he's not great. They could go... I mean, they could go Anthony Richardson. I love Anthony Richardson. I don't know if any of you come from my Instagram, but I just posted a scouting report on him the other day, and he's my QB3. I like him over Will Levis. I think that he is the highest ceiling out of everyone in this class, this quarterback class. He could end up being like a superstar in the right situation with the right people around him to develop him. But yeah, the Panthers. I I've never done this before. This is an interesting pick, but definitely a reach. I don't know that this will actually happen in the real draft. I don't think it will. But, the Panthers, they need a running back really bad. So I think that they take, not really bad. I shouldn't say that. Deonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard were okay this year. But they love to run the ball. And Bijan Robinson is special. He's a superstar talent, best running back prospect since Saquon. He's going to be a stud. He's in my top 5 players in the draft. Like, I think I have him at 4, I think. But yeah, he's a stud. And I think it's definitely high for a running back, but if the Panthers go out and get someone like Derek Carr and trade for him, then I don't see any reason why you don't go best player available. Their roster is already actually pretty solid, if we're being honest. It's a very solid roster. The Eagles here at 10. Howie Roseman loves his interior DNO line. So I might do that. I might go Brian Breezy, but I'm undecided on him. Truthfully, I haven't really watched too much tape on him. I watched like the Tennessee versus Clemson bowl game, and he looked okay. At times he looked dominant, and then at times it was like he almost like took snaps off. I didn't really like that part of the game, his game, but I don't know. Actually, I think the Eagles should go corner here. I think that they'll go corner here. James Bradbury's on an expiring contract. Joey Porter Jr. is here, but also Kelly Ringo's here, and he did play well in the playoffs. It's just he's a little raw for me. I think Joey Porter's a better player, but I'm going to go with Joey Porter. He's a better corner, I think, than Kelly Ringo, but Kelly Ringo, I think, has a higher upside because of his frame and his athleticism. So, the Titans, this has to be an O-line. Peter Skronsky could play guard or tackle. I think he'll probably play guard. But, I don't know. Maybe... Let me see. I'm thinking, Broderick Jones, he's a freak athlete. Like, he is just a physical specimen. Like, he is really, his body type his frame is crazy. I don't even know how to describe it. But I think he tests out very well, and he probably jumps up the draft board. But right now, I'm going to go with Peter Skronsky. I think having that versatility to play anywhere on the O-line is a plus, but it's also a little bit of a detriment, to be honest, because you might not know where to play him. And this pick for the Texans, they need a alpha wide receiver. I don't know if I want to take... Where is wide receiver? Did I pass it? Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to take Jordan Addison, honestly, over Quentin Johnston. I don't... Actually, no. I'm gonna bet on the size and just the ability that Quentin Johnston has shown this whole year. He didn't play good in the championship game, but Georgia also game planned to basically shut him down because TCU didn't have too much else. So... that's the pick at 12. The Jets are on the clock at 13. And who do they want? They could use O-line. They could use a tackle. Yeah, they could use a tackle. I'm going to give them Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. Now, the Patriots are here. They could use O-line. But I think they could also use someone like Brian Branch. I really like Brian Branch. I saw some crazy stat the other day, or it was a while ago, but in his whole college career, he missed, I think, like 2 tackles, something like that. Like, he's the best tackler, like, in the class by far, like, for a secondary player. I mean, like, he doesn't miss tackles often. I think that's something Bill Belichick really would admire, and he would be a great fit. He can play in the nickel. He can play a safety. Very versatile player. Now, the Packers are on the clock at 15. Everyone's going to be clamoring for a wide receiver. I don't think they'll take it. I really don't. They could go tackle here. They could go O-line. Could go D-line. I don't really... They could go corner too, but I don't think they need it as much as they need. I think they need a tackle more. I'm gonna go with. I think I know who I want to go with, but I'm not sure yet. Broderick Jones. Yep, that's who it is. That's who it's gonna be. I think he's gonna test out really well, and I think, although he has his flaws, I think he will end up being drafted higher than people think because of the upside. Now the Commanders, this is a weird spot because I don't think that they draft a quarterback. I don't think they draft Anthony Richardson. It's a weird spot to be in for them. And if they to be honest, if they draft Anthony Richardson, like, no offense to any Commander fans out there, but they're gonna ruin him. They're not gonna be able to develop him correctly. And with Kelly Ringo still here on the board, I think that has to be the pick. Yeah, that's gonna be the pick for me. Kelly Ringo, I think he could fall a little bit, farther down than people, like not top 10 maybe, but I think his athleticism is enough to definitely still keep him to a mid-first round pick. And now the Steelers, they need O-line bad. They need O-line really bad. And I think that Darnell Wright would be a good fit for them. And I think that ADP is bad. I don't think he's that. He's probably going to end up being a mid to late first round pick, I would assume. Maybe a high second. This is probably a little bit of a reach, but I think it's okay. I think it's going to work out fine. Brian Brzee is still here. I'm still undecided on him, but I think I don't know where he would go. I think something that I want to try here and see if I like it is, Jared Goff, he's getting older. Not old by any means, but I think drafting Anthony Richardson here would be something very interesting. And I'm not sure, Lions fans might not like it because if they like Goff, but I think Goff, he is capable of leading a winning team, yes. But are you going to win because of him? No. I don't think you win because of Jared Goff. I think you win with Jared Goff. You can win with Jared Goff, but he's not going to single-handedly win you games. Whereas if you can have Anthony Richardson sit back, get developed, and really fix his accuracy issues that he has and his inconsistencies, I think that in a year or two, you'll have a superstar quarterback that you can just step in after Jared Goff's contract's up and just without missing a beat, the Lions can still be competitive. The Buccaneers, they need a quarterback because I think Brady's going to retire, and if he doesn't, he might come back, but then they still do need a quarterback because clearly Kyle Trask is not the quarterback of the future, considering he somehow didn't start and didn't play in that last game, and instead I think Blaine Gabbert did instead, which was a meaningless game. You would think that you're second year quarterback that has been drafted in the second round, sitting behind Brady. You'd think he'd play, but no. So I don't know what they're doing. They need corners also, and Cam Smith is still here on the board, I think that would be a good spot for him to go. I also like, where is he? Jalen Jones could also be a good pick here. I'm gonna go Cam Smith over Jalen Jones here, but either one would have been a fine pick. And now with the Hawks here, I mean, they could really address this D line and go Brian Brzee. I kind of like that. That would be a great start to the draft. You know, their defense is horrendous. Yeah, I'm gonna go Brian Brzee. I think that's a great pick. If he just is motivated every snap, you know, that's a great pick. The Chargers are here, and I mean, they choked so bad in the playoffs. It was so funny to watch. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I do not like the Chargers, and it was hilarious to see them choke. But what could they use here? Linebacker definitely isn't out of the question. Trenton Simpson would be a good pick, but Keenan Allen's getting old. Mike Williams can't stay healthy. I think Josh Palmer is an okay wide receiver 3. But Jordan Addison is just above all. I think he is definitely better than Joshua Palmer. And, I mean, Keenan Allen doesn't have too many years left. So, I mean, as you saw this year, they didn't have all the receivers healthy for many games. So, Jordan Addison, get some youth in that wide receiver room. I think that's a great pick. And the Ravens, I've seen this many times, and I still like it every time. JSN to the Ravens. They need receiver help bad. I think he easily could be the best receiver in this class. So that's a pick here. The Vikings, I would have loved the Vikings to get Anthony Richardson as like a Kirk Cousins replacement in a few years. But I mean, it didn't happen, but just another thing that I should keep in mind that I like to look out for. Who do I like here? They need corner, right? Yeah. Well, Patrick Peterson's getting really old. Devon Witherspoon could be a good pick, but I think I like Jalen Jones more. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Jalen Jones here. To the Vikings. They get another corner. They get a corner. They need corner help bad. That defense is not good. As we saw in the wild card round against the Giants, they got destroyed. Now the Jags are on the clock here. I've seen people go Michael Mayer, but I don't think that they let Evan Ingram go after the season he had. So what do they need? They could use another corner. That could be a good pick to go across. They don't. They have what's his name? Darius Williams. I think he transitioned to outside this year. They have Tyson Campbell. Maybe not so much. They could use a tackle, Anton Harrison. That's not a bad pick. They could use a tackle. They could use a guard. Cyrus Torrance wouldn't be bad. I'm gonna go with a guard. I'm gonna go with Osiris Torrance. I think that's a good pick. They need a guard opposite of Brandon Sheriff. I think that's a good pick. The Giants, they need receiver, but the problem is I don't know that there's any that is worth a first-round pick, except for maybe Jalen Hyatt. I think he's going to test out really well at the combine, and I think he's going to rise up draft boards because he is a speedster. I mean, he's got like insane speed. And they need receiver bad. I could see them reaching on someone like this. Although it's not really a reach. Like he's a good player. But they could also go linebacker. I like that actually. Trent Simpson, he fell farther than I think I would have normally taken him. the Giants can grab a receiver in the second round, I think. And Trent Simpson, he's a versatile player, and I like him a lot. But there is one linebacker I like more than him as of right now. Trent Simpson is my linebacker 2, behind Drew Sanders. That's my linebacker 1. I think he's a stud. He can rush the passer. He's even shown that he can cover. He's got fluid hips. He's fast. He tackles well, fits the run well. I think he's going to be a really good player. And someone that... Who could the Cowboys use? I'm trying to think. They could use a receiver. The receivers aren't great. Outside of... Gallup's okay. CD's obviously great. That could be cool, Jalen Hyatt, but I still think it's too early. Devon Witherspoon is sitting here. Do the Cowboys need a corner? I think they could use one, but honestly, they do need linebacker. And I was just talking about him, and I feel like I should take him. Drew Sanders to the Cowboys at 26. I think he's a stud. I think it's a great pick. Now the Bengals are here. They need O-line, yes. Anton Harrison would be a good pick here. So I'm not going to even think about it. I'm not going to second guess myself. I think he's a great pick here. The Broncos are on the clock. I don't know what they could use, actually. I'm going to go that I know that they could use a corner across from Patrick Surtain. With Devon Witherspoon still here, I think that's a great pick. The value's good, and I think he's a good player, so that's a good pick, yeah. So the Bills, they're on the clock here at 29. This would be fun. This would be a very fun pick. They did just sign Dawson Knox, though, so I think last offseason to a contract extension. So I don't think that's the pick. I don't think they pick that. But I really do like that pick. I might do it. I think Michael Mayer is a really good player. I just don't know where he'll go. Yeah, the more I look down the board, the more I like either him or Antonio Johnson. Yeah, I'm going to go with Antonio Johnson. I think it's a great fit for them. They need safety help. Michael Mayer is sitting here. I mean, who would trade up for him? Who needs a tight end that would trade up for him? I feel like this is a good trade up spot. Right before the end of the first round. I mean, the Bucks could use a tight end. The Chargers could use a tight end. I kind of like the Chargers taking him. I think that would be a good pick. The Panthers could use a tight end. I think the Panthers could be a cool trade-up spot. Let's see. The Chargers are interested. I'm not going to go off that, though. I think the Panthers, they could trade it up, and they could probably give up their second here, have the Chiefs move back 9 picks. I think that probably yeah, that would probably be fine, actually. 39th pick and the 114th pick. Yeah, and maybe a future 5th. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. To trade up to 30, not interesting trade. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna force a trade. The details of the trade don't matter that much, since we're only doing one round. Doesn't matter. But the Panthers are now on the clock. They get their tight end. They haven't had a good tight end since Greg Olsen. And now they get Michael Mayer with potentially Derek Carr. I don't know. We'll see. I think that would be a cool landing spot for him. And now the Eagles are on the clock here, and I think they could go. I mean, Brandon Graham's getting old. Andre Carter's very athletic, high upside edge rusher. Why not take a swing on him? I think that's a good pick. All right. So that's the mock draft. That's the end of my mock draft. It's a long video, 30-minute video, but I think it's worth it for you guys to stick around and watch. We only had 2 trades. I meant to do more, but I kind of got sidetracked, but that's okay because I think that the Bryce Young trade was pretty fun. It was a fun new scenario that I haven't done yet, so yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and let me know what other videos I should do and what else you want to see on this channel. I'm going to be moving back to school soon, so the background will change, but I'll still be posting videos, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more content, and make sure to follow me on Instagram at LV Raiders News for Raiders News, as well as just to get more information about my videos or about different things I'm doing. Also, if you want to join my Dynasty League that I'm going to be starting, it's a $50 buy-in on Sleeper, and I need 6 more players. So if you're interested in Dynasty, I highly recommend joining. It'll be a very fun league. I love Dynasty, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's super flex, 1.5 PPR for tight ends, and everyone else is just PPR. You start a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, 2 flex, a super flex, a kicker, and a defense. And then the roster sizes are 28, including the taxi squad. So yeah, if you're interested, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I can get you guys set up with the invite link. So just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.